Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Nicole Frolic of Inflexible Me, and today we're going to be talking about the masculine and feminine energies, and it's actually quite synchronized for me this week. The universe did me a huge favor by putting something in the news that really supports this topic even further. And so if you weren't aware, University of Texas has been under fire for releasing a program called MasculinUT. And basically the program is saying that masculinity is correlated to aggression that is harmful to others and unharmful to self. Basically, sexual assault is a result of masculinity, and violence is a result of masculinity. And that really couldn't be further from the truth. And there's such a misunderstanding of what it means to be masculine and what it means to be feminine, and understanding that it goes way beyond our genders. So today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what those energies are and why you do not want to be buying into this indoctrination of the masculine being some sort of demon out there, that our men are somehow less than because they are men. And that's really, we've now swung the pendulum in a completely different way, where before women were feeling like they were less than, and now it's the energy swung in a completely different manner, and it's the men who are feeling less than, and neither is good. Neither gender should be feeling in that capacity. And so let's just talk about first the masculine and the feminine. Our masculine and feminine energies are very, very important to have in balance within ourselves. We all encompass masculine and feminine energies. The masculine energies are action-oriented, where the feminine energies are stillness. So when you think about yin yang is the masculine feminine. So the yang is our masculine and the yin is the feminine. And so when we think about masculine energies, we think about linear thinking, we think about logic, the action-oriented, aggression. Now, aggression actually isn't a bad thing. And this program, MasculinUT, is actually trying to insinuate that aggression is not positive. And I absolutely disagree with that. Aggression is very positive when it's in balance. When it skews out of balance, so you have imbalanced masculinity, then that can turn into violence. That can turn into something that's harmful either to yourself or to others. But aggression can be very positive. In fact, I've used my masculine energy in many areas of my life to tackle opportunities that come my way, to achieve certain goals. Having aggression is part of like your go-getting energy. It's where you go out and you do things. And so aggression can be very positive if it's in balance. So very important to not allow that idea that aggression is negative and create that negative association with it, because it's not. And just likewise with feminine energy, being still, having that nurturing component within, the softer lines, the curves, these are all very, like women tend to not think linear. Women tend to have a variety of ways of looking at things, and it doesn't just follow a certain timeline. It's very creative. Our feminine energy is where we get our creativity from. So when we think about, for instance, a business, if you're looking to start a business, you will have first the birthing of the idea, and you're going to have all these creative ideas about what it's going to look like, how it's going to be, how it's going to be executed. But you're going to, in order for that to actually come into fruition into the physical world, you need your masculine energy to execute it. So both are very important. So you can't execute something without actually having the idea first, which comes from our feminine energy. So very, very important. Now, as I was talking about with aggression in the masculine energy, how it can be very positive if it's in balance and not so positive if it's not. The same goes for feminine energy. Feminine energy is also more feeling. It's more emotional. That's why women tend to be more in touch with their feelings, because they feel more. They have that intuition. And so one of the issues that I've been seeing a lot going on in our world is that we're being triggered into our emotions more, and that people are not using their masculine logic to help keep them balanced in their emotions as well. And so when a woman is, or a man, whether they're more emotional, when they're out of balance in their emotions, they tend to get triggered easily. They tend to be oversensitive to things and blow things out of proportion due to their feelings. Having a balanced feminine energy is knowing that your emotions are there, being in touch with them, but not letting them be the driving force to everything that you do. You listen to your emotions, you acknowledge your emotions, and you honor your emotions, and you stay true to yourself for those emotions. But when they swing out of balance, that's when it could wreak havoc on your life. And so you see this very typically in relationships with men and women, where like the woman will be very emotional and the man kind of standoffish. This is changing now, but this is something that we typically saw for a long time. And so that's where you can see an imbalance of both the feminine energy and the masculine energy. Now, bringing masculine and feminine energy into balance doesn't mean that you take away from one or the other. This is so important to understand. It really grinds my gears that this whole idea that we need to dumb down masculinity, that we need to feminize masculinity in order for it to be healthy is completely way off base. It is so way off base that it is really taking us down a path that is only going to cause everyone actually more internal harm. So when we bring things into balance, we don't take things away from one another. We work within that area and we empower it. So for our feminine energy, when we empower it, we're bringing all the emotions into balance, we're strengthening our intuition, but to also keep the balance, we also keep our masculine energy in balance, where we don't forget that we have a logical mind. We don't forget that there's critical thinking skills that are necessary for this life. We don't forget that we look at facts and don't just simply go off our emotions. So very important to keep everything in balance in order for us to have harmony within. So important. When we start to go in an imbalanced direction, whether it's one or the other or both, that is when we have very deep conflict within. And when you have deep conflict within, your whole world will start to reflect that conflict. So if you really want to bring your world into harmony, you really have to start balancing the masculine and feminine energies. And understanding what they are and understanding that balancing them isn't taking away from one or the other is so important. And so I really am very disappointed to see that the universities are continuing to do this indoctrination of the masculine being some demonized thing, because it's not. The only way our society is going to come together in harmony, men and women, is when we start to honor all aspects within ourselves, and that we don't look at one as wrong and the other as right. That is continuing this whole line of separation. And as we continue to separate ourselves, we'll never be able to come into union and communicate harmoniously. And so communication happens harmoniously when we understand who we are within, and we understand that we have brought everything into balance within. That way we can project that balance out into our world. We can project it into all of our relationships. Remember, your relationship with self is the most important relationship to have. And so I implore you all to really understand the differences in the masculine and feminine energies, and know that balance doesn't mean neutralizing. Balance is not neutralizing the masculine and feminine to be non-existent. They're there in all aspects of creation. And so to believe that neutering our masculine and femininity is the answer to bringing balance is absolutely not the right way to go about it, because now you're not honoring either one, and both need to be honored. So I hope this helps bring some understanding into the importance of the feminine and masculine energies. Know that regardless of your gender, you have both, and that it's not about feminizing masculinity or masculinizing femininity. It's about harmonizing each one within. And when each one is harmonized, they work very well together, and you will see major shifts in your life. You will see major shifts happen in all aspects of your life, whether it's how you feel about yourself, your relationships with your family, your friends, your intimate partners. You will see how your work shifts, and you will find much success in your life in ways that many don't realize they're capable of. And so I hope this really helps you all. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. You can ask in the comments below, or you're more than welcome to email me, info@inflexiblement.com. I try to answer every email as quickly as I can. And if you need any more information or you're looking for some coaching, I do offer that. So I'll leave a link in the description below as well if you are looking for some coaching in this area or just on your spiritual journey in life in general. And of course, I have a podcast that comes out every Thursday in iTunes called Enlighten Up. And I'll leave a link for that in the description below as well. In fact, we have an episode that we did on masculine and feminine. I'm getting a lot of comments and feedback that has been very positive in helping people understand the masculine and femininity. So I'll actually leave a direct link to that actual episode if you're interested in listening to it as well. And that's about it, everyone. So thanks for joining me today. Have a blessed weekend, and I will be back with you all very soon.